because that was so fun, so interesting. I love a good reference. I love everything about her performing. I think she is like she is a performer for sure. She might not be the strongest, vocalist or songwriter, which people can fight in the comments about it. I'm just saying things. I'm not saying she's a bad singer. Hey everyone, welcome back to Jeffie Entertainment. It's Jeffie. We're just here to have a little bit of a chat real quick, something small. No reactions, no music. But music is the subject. We're going to talk about the Grammys, which were a a little too good. It was really crazy. This year was huge for music. It was one of the biggest years in a long time. We've had some crazy competition. We had some of the biggest Grammy hitters out there. We had Taylor Swift, we had Billie Eilish, we had Beyonce. We had people who had never been nominated before. We had Charlie, we had Chapel, we had Sabrina, we had Doechii. Everyone who was nominated was pretty deserving for Grammys, except for, in my opinion, listen, I don't like saying I'm a Swiftie because, yes, I know a lot about Taylor Swift. I love her music, but I will hold her accountable. I will criticize her. I will criticize her music. And Tortured Poets Department was not the big hitter that everyone was making it out to be. Listen, I love a lot of the songs on that album. But like I said in my Ethel Cain review, an album is not just it's not just charts. It's not just a bunch of really, really good songs. Like, if you took the 12 to 15 greatest songs, one from each genre, from pop, from rap, from classical. If you put all that on an album, it'd be kind of a mess. It would just be a giant mess. It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't mean anything. An album, in my opinion, has to have a cohesive sound, or at least like flow between if it does jump between different things, it needs to flow between them like effortlessly. It needs to have story. It needs to have purpose. It needs to have a through line in it. It can't just be about, like, I guess it can be about your personal life in your own way, but it's gotta have something a little bit more that, like, you don't have to know all the back lore to like understand what's happening. It's got to be a full album. And so I thought this year wasn't that controversial. I thought everyone who won was rightfully so deserving. There were definitely a couple that I was surprised, but let's get into it. So, I mean, obviously other things that were amazing. The performances were so good. The announcers were always really cute and fun. I always love seeing people announce and do stuff. Trevor Noah, maybe time to take a seat. It's been so many years of you doing this. I don't know. He wasn't that funny to me. It was a little bit interesting, a couple of his ones. I know there was that viral video of Doechii rolling her eyes to his joke, which is funny. So I'm not going to go through every category. Obviously, there's so many and so many places that I don't really know too much about. So the big ones for me, obviously, I'm going to start with Best Rap Album. Doechii winning was insanely incredible. Multiple people texted me, multiple people who are probably going to watch this video and know who I'm talking about, where they were like, I didn't know about her, but then I saw your video and I heard about it on the radio. I watched the show and I was like, oh my God, like, this is the girl that Jeffie reviewed. Like, it was insane to see. And I'm so happy that, like, she's up there now with Cardi B and Lauryn Hill. Like, it is crazy that 3 women have only ever won that award. Like, that's just crazy to me. But I guess it makes sense. Rap is a very male dominated industry. And yeah, I thought it was super well deserving. And she is just so great. I'm so happy for her. And then of course her performance was my favorite one. Like, it was, I think, everyone's favorite one. It was incredibly well done. The fact she wanted to do like a theater homage sort of thing and have all the big lights and movement and costumes. And yeah, I felt like I was watching a Broadway performance. It was just so incredible. All the other performances as well were so good. Sabrina, you're a theater girl. You're a theater girl through and through. Because that was so fun, so interesting. I love a good reference. I love everything about her performing. I think she is a performer for sure. She might not be the strongest, vocalist or songwriter, which people can fight in the comments about it. I'm just saying things. I'm not saying she's a bad singer. I'm just saying she's not a voice of a generation. I'm sorry. That's that me espresso. Incredible. Again, yeah, she is a performer though. She knows how to do a good music video. Her tour was super, super cool. I wish she didn't make it so short because I didn't have that time frame. I was super, super busy and could not go, and I would have killed to go see her perform live because she is such a fun person to watch. And then of course, Chapel Roan, my queen. I've known Chapel since Pink Pony Club back in 2020. One of my friends showed it to me and it was really funny because she did not know that it was a really gay song. And I remember I was listening to the lyrics and I was like, this is this is a gay song. Boys and girls can all be queens. I don't know. You're like, how do you miss that? Boys and girls can all be queens. West Hollywood. Some of the gay flags were getting hit, obviously. It was in my top songs of 2020. I was obsessed with it. And then I'll never forget when I was working in the office, and one of my coworkers, they were like, you need to listen to this album. Because I was obsessed with Guts when Guts had come out, and I was still streaming Olivia, and Rise and Fall of Midwestern Princess had just come out, like either right before it or right after it, something like that. And it was maybe like in November-ish, October-ish of 2023, where my coworker was like, you most likely know her. And I looked up, I was like, oh, Pink Pony Club, I do know that. And they were like, you need to hear this album, like you need to listen to it. And I remember pressing play on Femininomenon. I get into the office a little bit earlier than everyone else, so I was just there alone, and my jaw was on the floor. I was like spinning around in my chair going like, this is one of the greatest things I've ever heard in such a long time. It is so good, so amazing. And so when she started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I was so lucky and privileged to see her open for Olivia for her Good Luck Babe drop and her going into the stratosphere. It was an incredible show. She did all the songs that I needed to hear from Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess. Justice for My Kink is Karma, because I'm sorry, but that is one of the best. That is my opinion. That is my song from that album, and I think people should stream it more. It is so good and such a great song. And her, I think it was Lollapalooza or one of her live music festivals she did. She was like, "This is this is to my ex" or whatever, which is like so good. I love her. So to tie this all in, when she won Best New Artist, that was my pick for Best New Artist. I was so it would have been her and Doechii, but when Doechii won Best Rap Album, I was like, oh, it's got to go to Chapel now. Like Doechii's got her true win, in my opinion. Like a better, like Best New Artist is one of the big four, but I think it's a much bigger honor, especially for Doechii to be one of 3 women, queer women, and winning best rap album. Like it's basically like winning album of the year for your specific genre, which is so cool. I just am so happy that when she won that, I was so happy for her. And I just was like, I need Chapel to win. And when Chapel got it, and then she got up for her speech, I wish she might have mentioned a little bit more about, listen, beggars can't be choosers. And I thought her speech was incredible. It was well done. She was shaking, which scared me so much. And I hope they keep up the trend of Best New Artists announcing the next Best New Artist, because that seems to be a theme for the last few years. And everyone's always going like, her speech, like she's never going to get a Grammy ever again. And maybe so, but I'm hoping she at least gets invited back to present. But I loved her speech. I did wish she could have mentioned some more about like, trans allyship, which again, the health insurance and the art and the industry taking advantage of artists is very big and very large. And I know on the red carpet, she also was advocating for her trans allies and everything. But it's just something that I would have liked to see a little bit more of, but no slight at her, no slight at like the topic. I thought it was incredible, very brave. And yeah, I was so happy when she won. And then her performance of Pink Pony Club was exactly what we needed. It was, everyone's all like, why didn't she do Good Luck Babe and everything? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but with today's political climate, we're going to keep on dancing. Boys and girls can all be queens. What have you done? You're a Pink Pony girl and you dance at the club. And I was so proud of her, and her getting the entire audience to sing as well. And of course, like, it's the Grammys, so they sound beautiful. Everyone's always like, oh my God, like they sound so good. It just also showed that everyone knew the lyrics, which is like, oh, everyone knows this song just as much as like Good Luck Babe. And I'm sure if she did Good Luck Babe, people would be screaming that bridge. But Pink Pony Club was definitely the right move, and it was an incredible performance, and just top of the charts. I did like the Best New Artist medley they did. I do feel bad for them. I feel bad. I don't feel bad, but the men, I'm sorry. Like the girls were doing it. The girls were fucking doing it. They were out doing it so much. And I know everyone's all like, Benson Boone was doing flips and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but a lot of shouting. And people get annoyed at Teddy Swims, who also like kind of has like a really, I don't know. It was very loud and not really impressive to me, I guess. I do think the flips are cool, but I'm also just like, buddy, chill. Also, when people joke that he stood up so quickly with Chapel's speech about health insurance, and it's like, if you don't have health insurance, stop doing those flips. Oh my gosh. He seems cool, but I don't know. I'm still not sold on him entirely. I thought the girls were girling. The girls were killing it. So good. Like I said, I thought it wasn't super controversial. I guess one of the more controversial parts or sections was Best Country Album. Listen, I loved Casey's album. I don't even know who else was nominated, because I loved Casey's album as well. But Cowboy Carter is, and we'll get into it with Album of the Year as well, Cowboy Carter is fully deserving of all the awards it got. I mean, it is, when you press play on American Requiem, she spells it out right then and there. If that ain't country, tell me what is. And she embodies such an old country sound. The CMAs blacklisted her like losers, and I think it's appalling that like she was invited to perform with Daddy Lessons back with Lemonade, and brought out the chicks experienced actual cancel culture, which is crazy. Like, people don't get canceled. There's so many people out there who have been canceled, but they're still making so much money and being fine. The chicks got canceled over just making a small statement about George Bush over in, I think it was in the UK. And they just were basically like, he's not our president. And it was just like, I don't even know if that was exactly what the quote was. It was like it was not even that crazy of a quote. They did not deserve the backlash that they got. And Beyonce bringing them on stage should have been a cool thing, because it's like they are country as well. They had some incredible country music, and they still have incredible country music. So the fact that people are probably all like, she shouldn't have gotten Best Country Album because she didn't win any CMA awards or even get nominated. It's like, well, the Country Music Association or Country Music Awards, they just did her dirty. It was bad. Like, I don't know what else to say. And I put it on my Instagram story the other day, but like, if you just listen from the Linda Martell show through Yaya all the way to just the end of the album, and if you can't be like, wow, I'm sorry, like you don't find a song that you're like really into. And that's just the second half of the album. The first half is scattered with incredible songs as well, like, and incredible flow into things. I press play on Cowboy Carter and I literally have to listen to the full thing. Like, I cannot just pick and choose songs. It's crazy. And it had a chokehold on me. It had a chokehold on a lot of people. And I think it deserved everything it won. So you might be wondering, like, what surprised you? Like, if I was kicking out here, like, I feel like I had a good finger on the pulse for everything that was going to win. I did have a feeling Not Like Us was going to win something, but I didn't know if the Grammys would be cool enough for that, quite honestly. The Grammys haven't been cool for a while. They haven't been in tune with a lot of stuff. And I think I should have maybe taken it as a hint when the CEO came out and had The Weeknd perform, because that was wild. And him to be like, we're going to be making we're making some changes. We've squashed the beef. And I think they have, or at least they figured out like how to vote properly, in my opinion, because before the Grammys, I was like, Billy's going to win stuff. Taylor's going to win stuff. Like, it's going to be, and it's just going to be like chart topping, whatever, which again, like I said, the charts don't matter because there are streaming bots. There are diehard fans. There are people who are picking up like 5 different machines to stream one thing to like get their fave that credit. I'm sorry. Like, the chart battles are not representative of the culture. It's just not. And what better place to look at than the Billboard Hot 100? I mean, like, those songs, no one really, like, they're apparently the Hot 100, but like, no one knew who Benson Boone is. No one knows who Teddy Swims is at the moment. I mean, yes, they're nominated as Best New Artist and everything, and I'm sure now people do know who they are. But the average everyday person was kind of just like, huh? What? Who is? How? But they're up there in the Billboard Hot 100. Like, it's crazy. So it's very interesting. The charts are an interesting place. They're very, very interesting. So I don't know. I personally don't use it as my way of deciding what music, or at least like deciding what is making a cultural impact. Like, I'm seeing it more on online spaces, in people's lives, how it makes it into mainstream media and everything like that. And yeah, so even I didn't miss Not Like Us. Like, I saw it go crazy. I watched the rap beef. I thought it was incredible, but I didn't realize how big it was until like some of my other friends were like, oh my God, yeah, Kendrick's gonna win. Like, it's crazy. Like, he has to win. Like, it's like, I'll be pissed if he doesn't win. And I'm like, but like Espresso, like, and Birds of a Feather, like, that me Espresso. That song was like, that was the song of the summer. Espresso was, in my opinion. Birds of a Feather is also up there in me. Like, I love both those songs so much, but Espresso, like, and it took me a while actually to get into Espresso. I had a weird hipster, like, I don't want to listen to it yet vibe, but it grew on me so much and I love bumping it. I love playing it. It really embodies summertime, and I think the music video really shows that too. So that was the surprise for me, was that Not Like Us won both Record of the Year and Song of the Year, which, not undeserving. I was very, very happy, and like, Drake, honestly, like, he can go rot. He can go rot and kick rocks, and Kendrick destroyed him. And now I'm very excited. I'm filming this the day before the Super Bowl, so I'm very excited to see his performance. I'm very excited to see what he does with the song. And yeah, it'll be very, very interesting. It'll be very interesting. And I just think, yeah, I think those categories were the ones where you would have expected maybe like Billy or Sabrina to win a little bit more, just because of how big those songs were. And I was surprised that, like, another surprise was that Billy didn't win anything, not because she was deserving of it, which is, listen, I do think her and Phineas are great, but I think there was an inflated sense of her winning from a lot of people, like people who, especially now, who are freaking out about stuff like, I'm sorry, Hit Me Hard and Soft was never going to be even even number 2 after Cowboy Carter. Like, it was Cowboy Carter, it was Brat, and even then it might have even been Tortured Poets Department, or at least Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess, because that had the second highest vinyl sales out of everyone behind Taylor, who is a machine and has such a crazy business strategy that she's able to inflate her numbers so hard. And that's just, and again, that's coming from someone who is, she's my number 1 artist. The gap between her and SZA, who's my number 2 artist, is like 10,000 hours. It's crazy. I love Taylor Swift's music, and because I love Taylor Swift's music, I knew Tortured Poets Department wasn't it. It just wasn't. It's not 1989. It's not Red. It's not even Reputation, which is like, it's just not it for me. And so for people to be like surprised she didn't win anything, I was like, no, I think this is good that she didn't. She doesn't even care, in my opinion. I think she went there to drink a lot, have a great time, and cheer on her faves, because she clearly, like, she went around like meeting everyone and chatting with people and hanging out with Cynthia Erivo, Chapel, Sabrina, obviously. Like, she was going around supporting all her faves. And I mean, I would have loved an Olivia in her moment, but we'll see. Speaking of moments though, Olivia and Sabrina, I need, because I also predicted for this year, I need the Chapel, Olivia, Sabrina. I need the bang bang of this generation to happen. I need it so badly. So let's make that happen. Please, please. But yeah, I'm going all over the place with a lot of this stuff because I'm just stream of conscious right now about the Grammys. I mean, they were incredible this year, which is scary. And that tweet where it's like, it was a little too good this year is very accurate. Like, what is going on? Why are they being cool? The Oscars are going to be very interesting because I think that's going to be like maybe the opposite, which is scary. We shall see. And yeah, so I guess I kind of talked about it throughout all of this, but album of the year, right? That's the one that everyone has been kind of weird, like not weirded out about, but I think people have country album and album of the year because Beyonce is a very divisive like artist. I used to not get Beyonce in the sense that like I never thought she was overrated. I could never deny her ability to perform, her ability to sing, I knew she was all of that, but I never had like sat down and listened to an album start to finish. And Renaissance I did, and I was like, okay, I get this. Like, this is a sick house album. Like, this is really, really good. But like the music wasn't 100% all for me, but I got it a little bit. And then Cowboy Carter, I fully got it. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, she is my own made up word, an albumist. She knows how to make an album. It is not just picking singles to go viral or whatever. Like, Texas Hold'em was a great single, don't get me wrong, but it was even more enhanced by that little Smoke Hour like interlude beforehand with Willie Nelson, and it's like a radio, and like I was just like, oh my god, she somehow made the song better. Like, I just by having this little intro thing that made me love going into Cowboy Carter and being like, this ain't Texas. Yeah, if for me, Brat was the album of the year. For me, I think Brat Summer was insane. I think the fact that it went into mainstream political discourse was a true testament to how popular it was in the culture, and people are going to be like charts and all this other stuff. And that's my point, is that it might not have charted as crazy as everything else, but it literally, we got Kamala is Brat. And I do think in a world where maybe Kamala had won the election, that maybe that would have led to Brat being voted as that because it was part of that whole thing. Her obviously losing, and here we are now. I am not surprised that it might not have gotten the same votes as it probably could have, but it won Best Electronic Dance Album, which as it rightfully should have earned something, and I'm very glad it did because I think people are going to be trying to replicate the Brat experience, Brat Summer, the remix album. Like, it is all together as a whole impact. It's insane. It was insane. And so that's why for me it was clear, like, Cowboy Carter, Brat, Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess were like my top 3 that I thought could win. The only reason I didn't think Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess would win is because Chapel had such a crazy explosion, and in my opinion, the explosion came for Good Luck Babe, which wasn't even on that album. And so as much as like Good Luck Babe is incredible, and I cannot wait for the rest of her, like, I can't wait for her to put Subway on an album. I need her, She Gets the Job Done, or whatever that song is. I need all of them on an album, please. I can't wait for Chapel Roan 2, CR2, please. But yeah, I don't think Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess, like, as a body is as impactful or as cohesive even as Brat and Cowboy Carter. Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess very much kind of gave me, you know, it was a bunch of her old singles all just finally put on an album. So it was very much like, yes, there was a Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess, but it was very much not a full cohesive sound for me, I guess, is kind of the vibe I feel. But nevertheless, an incredible incredible album. So yeah, so those are just kind of like my thoughts about the Grammys, because I don't think, I mean, if people were curious, I felt like we should talk about it. In my next video after this one, because I think I'm going to just edit this up and throw it out for people to see today, I do mention the Grammys, and I filmed it before the Grammys and them disappointing me. But as we now know, they didn't disappoint me. They somehow made the right choices, and I will forever be excited to see what they maybe do next year, how they vote next year. I think there's a very high chance that like Kendrick's album is going to be nominated at least. I could see it winning. The fact that it's happened so late in 2024, but it will then transcend into 2026 essentially, right? Like it's going to be, especially with the Super Bowl, the tour, I am so curious to see what'll happen. I am a little nervous because this past year felt like such a huge boost with music. It was crazy. We had the big hitters. We had some of the most popular people releasing stuff. And so it will be very interesting to see what comes next. I mean, like even like this year we had Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, Beyonce. The only people we're missing from like Grammy darlingness is like, I mean, Olivia Rodrigo might be releasing this year. I could see Doja Cat doing something this year maybe. We could get some new Harry Styles. It would be, I don't know. 2025 is scary because I feel like the music scene, at least for the popular hitters, is kind of down a bit. I mean, I know Taylor's going to release her re-recordings. I cannot wait. I'm very excited. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts and my opinions on the Grammys. I hope you guys, had a good time as well. Throw it down in the comments, like your own thoughts and opinions. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you think I should give Hit Me Hard and Soft another listen or something, right? Like I do have it on vinyl. I enjoyed listening to it when I first heard it. I just don't think it had the same impact as everything else out there. And I think that's the one I've been seeing online as the most discourse, is Billie not winning anything. And I'm sorry, but and I know people have also said Billie's an inch away from an EGOT at the age of like 23 or something, or 22. I don't even know how old she is, but she is going to be fine. And her and Phineas are a powerhouse. I would love to see them maybe move away from the two of them, like have the two of them on there, but maybe bring in a third producer or bring in something, because I just think when you have the same person over and over again, you're not really pushing yourself to your best limits, or at least like you're gonna get a bit of a stale sound without bringing something in to like mix it up. And I think the same thing for Taylor and Jack Antonoff. I think they need to have a new producer, not just Aaron Dessner. It needs to be someone who can spice it up a bit. So yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and go listen to some of the albums that were nominated or won at the Grammys. Give Doechii a stream. Go watch my video about her. Enjoy her music because she's incredible. Go play some Chapel. Go play some Billie. Go play some Sabrina. Play some Taylor. Enjoy some Charlie. Do it all. Just go enjoy and listen to some great music that's out there. Go bumping that. Anyway, bye everyone.